Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This lecture video is the continuation of my previous lecture video on nucleic acid. Hope this lecture video will be helpful for you all to understand the chemistry of nucleic acid, central dogma, transcription and translation process. In this lecture video, first I shall discuss about the central dogma of molecular biology. The central dogma is the process by which the instructions in DNA are converted into a functional product. It was first proposed in 1958 by Francis Crick, who is the discoverer of the structure of DNA. The central dogma of molecular biology explains the flow of genetic information from DNA to RNA to make a functional product, a protein. The central dogma suggests that DNA contains the information needed to make all of our proteins, and that RNA is a messenger that carries this information to the ribosomes. The ribosomes serve as factories in the cell where the information is translated from a code into the functional product. The process by which the DNA instructions are converted into the functional product is called gene expression. Gene expression has two key stages: transcription and translation. In transcription, the information in the DNA of every cell is converted into small portable RNA messages. During translation, these messages travel from where the DNA is in the cell nucleus to the ribosomes, where they are read to make specific proteins. The flow of genetic information, that is, information from DNA to RNA and then from RNA to protein. The central dogma states that the pattern of information that occurs most frequently in our cells is from existing DNA to make new DNA, that is DNA replication, from DNA to make new RNA, that is transcription, and from RNA to make new protein, that is translation. Transcription is the first step in gene expression. It involves copying a gene's DNA sequence to make an RNA molecule. In eukaryotic cell, nucleus contains genome. Human genome is split between 23 pairs of chromosomes. Each chromosome contains a long strand of DNA tightly packed around proteins called histone. Within the DNA, there are sections called genes. A gene is a continuous strand of nucleotides containing a region that codes for an RNA molecule. These genes contain the instructions for making proteins. This DNA sequence is read by an RNA polymerase enzyme, which produces a complementary antiparallel RNA strand called a primary transcript. This region begins with a promoter and ends in a terminator. Gene also contains regulatory sequences that can be found near the promoter or at a more distant location. When a gene is switched on, RNA polymerase, along with one or more general transcription factors, attaches to the promoter region. Promoter region of the gene functions as a recognition site for RNA polymerase to bind. This is where the maturity of gene expression is controlled by either permitting or blocking access to this site by the RNA polymerase. Binding causes the DNA double helix to unwind and open and generates a transcription bubble, which separates the two strands of the DNA helix. This is done by breaking the hydrogen bonds between complementary DNA nucleotides. Then the RNA polymerase slides along the template DNA strand and adds RNA nucleotides which are complementary to the nucleotides of the template DNA strand by hydrogen bonding. The RNA polymerase links this RNA nucleotide to the 3' end of the growing RNA molecule. Once the RNA polymerase reaches the terminator portion of the gene, the messenger RNA transcription is complete, and the RNA polymerase, the DNA strand, and the messenger RNA transcript, that is the primary transcript, dissociate from each other. The segments of DNA strand, that is antisense or non-coding strand, transcribed into RNA molecules that can encode proteins, are said to produce messenger RNA or mRNA. The complementary segments of DNA strand, that is sense or coding strand, are copied into RNA molecules called non-coding RNAs or ncRNAs. In prokaryotes, this messenger RNA transcript bind with ribosome to begin translation. If the cell has a nucleus, this RNA needs to be further processed. The strand of messenger RNA that is made during transcription includes regions called exons that code for a protein and non-coding sections called introns. In order for the messenger RNA to be used in translation, the non-coding introns need to be removed, and modifications such as a 5' cap and a 3' poly A tail are added. The 5' cap is added on the 5' end of a messenger RNA transcript, consists of a guanine nucleotide connected to messenger RNA via an unusual 5' to 5' triphosphate linkage, and this guanosine is methylated on the 7 position directly after capping in vivo by a methyltransferase enzyme. 3' poly A tail is added to the 3' end of the messenger RNA transcript, which consists of multiple adenosine monophosphates. In other words, it is a stretch of RNA that has only adenine bases. Intron splicing of the messenger RNA transcript is performed by a complex called spliceosome, which is made up of proteins and RNA. This complex removes the intron segments and joins the adjacent axons to produce a mature messenger RNA strand. And modifications increase the stability of the messenger RNA, while splicing gives the messenger RNA its correct sequence. This mature messenger RNA can leave the nucleus through a nuclear pore and enter in the cytoplasm to begin translation. Here in this figure, you can see the symbolic representation of transcription process. This is the animated representation of eukaryotic transcription process. That's all for today. Hope all of you enjoyed my lecture video. If you like my lecture video, then don't forget to click the like button. You can also share my lecture videos to your friends and can also put your comments. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Your subscription will encourage me to make more lecture videos for you all. Thank you.